No way, no way. It has been a while since I've been at this creek. Like more than a year. Nearly 2 years. And this is where I found my all-time favorite bottle, but that was back before I told a couple of people about it. And now it's rare to find a bottle out here at all. When I first started here, if you remember, we hauled back so many bottles. But those days may be over. Live and learn, right? Not that it really matters, but so we're gonna check again and see if any of the past storms have whipped up anything new. A very large Midland water snake just left the show right here. Man, I wish that had been a little quieter coming up. It's low, but it's not as low as it was during the best harvest. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see when we finally get out here if there's something worth rescuing from the rocks. The goal was to not fill up my boots, at least right off the bat. But right there, I jumped on a sandbar and went in up to my knees. So that's done. So I'm okay now. I just get wet. It actually makes it easy when you finally get wet, because then it really doesn't matter. Except for the sand on the top of the boot. Yeah, it's still kind of high to get on further down where we really want to look and see what's left. Right in here we have nothing. Tires and logs are what you want to look for, but there has been a creek cleanup here, so a lot of that's gone, which is good if you don't want to look at tires and logs in the water. I'm okay with either one, because they're on your car, right? And you know what happens when your tires wear out? Where's all that rubber go? So why would you be concerned about a tire in a creek? Okay, I'm just kidding. But really, where does all that rubber go? So far, nothing. We need some shallower water. This is looking pretty deep right here. Doggone it, there's gotta be another way. That's a fresh tree right there. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I took a new road, but now we have to see where it leads. I'm trying to get my bearings on where something comes out. I can't get it. This was a mountain of bottles at one time. Absolute mountain. Big trees that my bride and I walked across. Big trees. Now they have all gone. That's okay. All it takes is one good storm. I'm gonna go down as far as I can and work my way back up the edges and the middle. I should probably go down the middle and work my way back up. I've tossed so many jars out of here that weren't of harvest quality. So we'll just keep rolling. On another note, the famous bottle dump Well, the bearded one and I had rented excavators and went out there several times over the past few years. What's that? It has been hijacked. So I gave up my permission and let the owner know that there's people out there digging and it's not me and I'm not going back, because they're leaving massive holes out there, which is common, but it's kind of not the way I roll, because I just don't want to be known for leaving a mess. Some people it doesn't bother. I'm really not a bottle guy, but it was fun while it lasted. So far, nothing. But I haven't stopped looking, but I will here pretty soon, and we'll go to a different spot. Quite possibly, if it is alive, our best find is gonna be this, if I can figure out where its head is. I can't get it out. I don't want to get bit. Oh, there it goes. That's a big one. It's so pretty and bright and luxurious and rah, rah, rah. Now it's gone. So we'll peek around the corner. That's still a beautiful creek, isn't it? Even though we haven't found anything. Trees stretched across like that are pretty good spots to look. This is where it gets deep. If you remember, over in that corner there was a humongoid tree, and I plowed. I gotta hold my pants up. Actually, I'm gonna see if it's not as deep over here. It got really deep over there. Now this is a good spot, but it appears to be. Oh, there's a bass. This would be a good spot if there was a bottle in here. That's a good spot for snakes 2 and 3. I think it's going to be about all the same depth. And we need to get right there. Before we go, we'll look at this bottle, or this jar. That's your standard issue jar. I thought I saw another one. Okay, nothing here. We're gonna go upstream as I hold the pant up a little bit and look around in here. There is a beer bottle. That's from the Common Creek kayaker. No, it's not. That is a new grape soda. Actually in pretty good shape. It is a new grape. I think we shall harvest, since it may be the only one we leave here with. Get all the mud out and make it only weigh about 4 pounds. That's a clear one. It's got the H on the bottom for homemade. New grape. I'm such a professional, I can't stand it sometimes. So we'll stop right here and look some more. This was about one of the last semi-remaining spots that had bottles. Once they turn loose and get into the middle where the gravel is, they roll down into some incredibly deep spots. Here is either a modern beer or a barrel beer, if you will, or a Sprite. We will not. That is a bag that someone probably lost out of a kayak. So I will sit it right here in case they come back in the kayak. A lot of yaks going on there. The driest summer I remember was when we came here and there were so many. and they were just laying in the gravel, just pieces of them poking up here, there, everywhere. So let's keep plugging along. There's got to be one more. Fun fact, I've never sold a bottle. I've given away about 500, and I'm not exaggerating. The last 300 we gave away at a yard sale. Somebody just wanted to buy a couple, and I said, I tell you what, if you take every one of them, you can have them all for free. And reluctantly, he did. And that ended my desire to just pile them up for the sake of piling them up. But like I said, I have never sold one. But my bride, on the other hand, she said, "Do you think people really buy these?" And I said, "I don't know. They might. I prefer just to give stuff away, just because I've got no, you know, we've already had that discussion." And I said, so we found a new grape. It had a color to it. It wasn't clear like the one we just picked up. And she put it on eBay just to put it to the test. $65. That may not be a lot of money to you young'uns. To me, it's a lot of money, especially spending a bottle. I know there's a lot more expensive bottles out there than that, but being a professional bottle picker-upper, I have picked up my share. There's gotta be one more in here. It's the afternoon semi-fall sun, so it's not directly over us anymore. You got to get different angles when you look. And when I take my polarized glasses, I'm polarized. Sorry, my inner 21P coming out. Then you got to go to different angles. So what you want to do is make sure there's not a big snake in there first. Actually, well, that's never stopped me, has it? Let's just get this and move it. And look and wait. And look and wait and look and wait. There is no bottle there to take. So you press on. There is a bottle in this tire. It is a water. That's all it says is water. It says more. No water. Cloud water. Liquid water. Pluto water. Okay. I've heard of Pluto water, but I didn't know what it was. I don't know. Bottle, America, Magic, Payside, Opryland, Physics, Forensics. So you put it back down here in the sand and you polish it around and around and around where you go. I want to read the bottle so that I will know. You watch a lot of Mary Wonka and the Willy Factory, you will be able to make rhymes too. It says Pluto water. America. Why can't I read this bottle? I'm even sounding out the big words. So it's got a little person on the bottom. Okay, I'm not like a little person, but a person on the bottom, and it says Pluto. Okay, I got an idea. Take your sunglasses off. All right, we'll do that. Pelvic. It does say Physic. America's physique, or they mean physique, and they spelled it wrong. A little person on the bottom, and his name is Pluto. Okay, that's pretty cool. There's your thumbnail. So we're gonna go back to the Pluto water tire. And we're gonna move it. Let's start on this side and hope there's nothing under it. There's Pluto water tire. Dude, why don't you put that tire around your neck and carry it out of there like I would do? Hey, you're just a better person than me. Dude, why don't you put one on each leg? See, because it's a white wall. Nobody wants a white wall. So then you dust out the hole, and you see nothing, and you go to the next spot. So you come to your next tire, and you think, what could be better than a Pluto water? Sewage water like you're walking in? Well, that's possible. So then you get down there and you think, well, I can't see a thing. Well, maybe there's nothing in there. And you move your tire, and you go over here. There's no bottles in there. Then you see this log, and you ask yourself, you want to stick your arm in there and move that log? And then yourself responds and says, sure. And you go, one rescue at a time, one rescue at a time. Then if you have some handy dandy grippers, I am no longer going to buy grip and grabs. They're almost $20, and there are many, many, many other companies who make them now on the China land and sell them on Amazon. So when I figure out the next best thing, I'll let you know, because I know a lot of y'all, I have gotten over the years, not recently, because nobody really watches my videos anymore. That's okay. I still do it. It's fun. Okay, here's a tree. But anyway, a lot of people over the years have asked for the link to the grabbers because they are nice. They have a nice little end, and you can pick up stuff. Ah, that's so deep. Okay, here is a tire with a jar. This jar says Pluto. I'm just kidding. This jar says nothing, but I'm a square. I'm shaking like because of mosquitoes. So I want to get all the flavor out of here, and then we're going to flip this tire. That's a lot of mud on the pant. That's all right. That's okay. It don't matter anyway. Oh man, you could apply this from either end. See, that was the actual correct use of that word. You have two sources. We've been through that before. Okay, that appears that, oh, mosquitoes are vicious. So now the next question is, can I, oh, this tire just disintegrated itself. So let's swish around in it. There's probably more bottles in there. I guess that's proof that tires disintegrate and it doesn't take 1,000,000 years, right? What you really don't want to do with your grabbers is what I just did, because you fill up the ends of them with sand. Then you gotta manually, that word's been changed, to mechanically open and close it to get all the grit out. Well, that's just wunderbar. Okay, that may be the end of these grippers, which is kind of sad. I cannot move that tire. 18 hours later. We are ready for round whatever it is. Okay. Checking the trees. I know it's hard to see, but if you just walk this way, not like literally, but if you come with me now, there might be something over on this bank. It's getting kind of deep. Okay, I'm back in the semi-shallows. It's a good place to be so you can see the alligators swim by. Your best bet is like the turtle, and when you see one, it swims away. If it jumps off the bank and you think it just wants to be petted because it's coming up to you with a smile on its face and its mouth open, then you have to make a decision. Because I've had choices. Okay, we're gonna check over here. I really give up on not getting the legs wet. Okay, here's another tire. I think we should. Oh, there's just enough room for a watered moccasin in there. Ugh. I do get a little semi-creeped when I do that. But you just wait. I thought I stepped on that. 2 more tires over there. It's crazy. It's like 59 to 62 at night now, and 85 maybe today. So it's kind of perfect. I remember when the kids was young, and that was before they grew, of course. And I didn't have a whole lot of money. I still don't, but I didn't really have to pay as much. I don't have to pay as much attention to my power bill now, which I'm thankful for. But when they were young, and I had screens on the thing, whatever the words are I'm trying to say. Boy, if that right there would move, that would be amazing. Anyway, I would open all the screens in the house and the doors and everything, because you could cool it off at night and then just deal with it in the daytime. But you know us, what do they say is first world problems? Just remember, the answer to that is that's where you live. So unless you don't live here, okay, getting deep again. It really doesn't matter anymore because I'm already soaked. Bottle broken, but round. I just broke it again. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it just broke on by itself. I can't seem to get anything off of it. Well, that one just absolutely disintegrated in my fingers. That's the opposite of integrate. It disintegrated in my fingers. I'm over here in the doggone snake zone. Ragdoll, you living in a movie? I'm making my way downtown though. So it's good that we got in these trees. So hopefully, the more stagnant the water is, the warmer it is. So if you're cold, you can come over to some good warm stagnant water and kind of sit down in it and pretend like you're sitting in a latte, or just a little bit. Whatever you think is best for you. Oof. If I could walk this log, well, that's probably not gonna happen. But if I could walk that log, I wouldn't have to go through the depths over there. There's chances of there being a big old fat watered moccasin up here. We can only hop slow, right? Actually, I don't really want to. I don't want to get surprised by a snake right here. So, we're going to try to step on this log. Step on a log. There is guaranteed a snake in here somewhere. But, oh, that looks like a Bottleicious. These are not some of my most desirable spots to climb through. Huh. But I made it. My goodness. Oh, is that a bottle? That's a unicycle. I'm seriously running out of places to put the feet that are on the end of my legs. Oh man, how about licked mud on that one? Oh, that's some movement. Ha, of water. This appears to be the end of the splat. I'm gonna try not to get my boots wet. And if I succeed, my socks will still be dry. You know what we ought to do? We ought to go upstream a little bit. It's a little extreme upstream, but it's extreme upstream that we want to go when we get upstream. Maybe it'll be a little extreme, I don't know. You can smell when the WWTF is doing their job. That's a wastewater treatment facility. Or the WWTP, they didn't want to call it that because it'd be wastewater toilet paper. And that just doesn't have a good ring to it. But when they're doing a good job, we can smell it. It does get deeper up there, but there have been 2 bottles found over here. Only 2. Unless we're looking there. Let's keep moving. I've walked a long way up this before. There's those 2 down, huh? I'm not gonna go that far this time because it's still a little deep. Okay, we'll go a little further. Part of the problem with stepping on the soft, luxurious stuff is that you can just immediately sink. And then the next thing you know, you've sunk. I don't see anything. I just stepped on a log in there that has a similar point like that, and it popped up out of the water and looked like a gator dollar. So see, listen, today I got a little A little overstimulated. I'm okay now. I appreciate your best wishes and your praying hands symbol, which is, truth be known, it's a high five. It's not praying hands. And then you look at it and everybody says, well, why do they have the same shirt on? Well, because they're on the same team. You don't just walk down the street high-fiving anymore. The only people that really high-five are athletes with feet. Like the athlete's feet commercial. I just got a pretty cool spider web wrapped around my ear. It's pretty neat. Let's check our harvest. Pluto water, America's physic. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I didn't make it. New grape. And this is pretty rare. You can like put a little clone on top, and then if your friend's next to you, you just go and they get a little bit too. So that's all we harvested. So as usual, thanks for watching my videos.